Hey everybody, it is good to see a video camera again. I was going to say it's good to see you, but I'm not actually seeing you. But I am excited today. I've got a new segment or possibly a new video series, whatever we want to call it. I'm not sure if I'm qualified to call something a segment yet. But I got a new video series I'm wanting to start. And I think it should be fun. My hope is really with this, like all the videos that we're doing right now, that it's just some way to kind of encourage you and also for us to stay connected and remember that we love each other and that there is a community out there of people and we're just waiting so that we can be back together with one another. But again, my hope is that this would be fun and it'd be something that we can do together to just encourage each other. I am having to admit defeat, and I'm going to be giving up and actually using Zoom. It seems like that's the only way that I'm going to be able to actually interview anybody and get back to being able to see people. So it would be interesting if at the end of all this we find that it was just a big conspiracy by Zoom. Because they sure have really stepped in right at the right time to help all of us communicate with each other, and we'll be doing that. I'll be recording those, and we'll put it out, and that'll be the way that we kind of get to hear from one another. My motivation really for this new series that I want to do is that I think it's important in times like these to find just kind of the little things in life that help us enjoy life a little bit. And so for all of us, we're home a lot more. Maybe you're stressed, maybe you're worried. It's good to remember and take time to do things that we enjoy. And then also, of course, I think with this, one of my main hopes is just that it's another way for us to connect with one another. My goal is that you would get to see some people that you haven't seen, remember why you love them, and get to know them a little bit better. So, this new series that I'm excited about is going to be called Meet You at the Well Wednesdays. And the idea is every Wednesday, obviously, I'll be getting this out. But the layout is going to be that I will be sitting down and sharing, over Zoom anyways, a drink of choice from all of you. So, I'm going to need you to give me some suggestions. And I'll share that drink and we'll get a chance just to talk about life. I'll interview you a little bit and we'll share one of your favorite drinks together. The guidelines for this are going to be very simple. Basically, the guideline is this: I will drink with you anything you suggest. You just have to drink it with me. So you can't be like, I want you to drink muddy water out of a puddle unless you're also going to drink muddy water out of a puddle. And so hopefully this is actually a drink that you enjoy, something that you would want to share with people. That can be anything. It can be something, it could be wine, it could be whiskey, it could be lemonade, it could be, I don't care, whatever it is. We'll do this together, and I'll just talk with you as we do this, interview you a little bit, give people a chance to hear from you. So that's the other kind of guideline for this, is that you just have to agree to be interviewed. If I'm going to drink your drink, then you're going to be on YouTube with me and talk a little bit, answer some questions that I have for you. So very simple. Lots of times, well Wednesday at a bar or something is a time where their well drinks are cheaper, and this is going to be a little different than that, obviously. But it'll be a chance for us to drink something together, talk about it, review it, talk about life. My hope really is that in this you'll find, maybe all of us will find something else that we enjoy a little bit, something we didn't know about. Learn something about a different kind of drink. And kind of deeper meaning for this would be really, if we want to get even like spiritual, scriptural about it, wells were a place in scripture that had a lot of meaning. They were obviously a place that people went to be refreshed and to get water that they needed to survive, those sorts of things. But wells were very a hugely communal place. It was a place that you went for connection, to meet people, see people, talk with people. And so that's kind of maybe, if we want kind of a deeper meaning for this, it's just a place for us to connect, talk, share life together. And again, hopefully that will be really fun, for us, and just kind of something else interesting to do in this time. Lastly, maybe the last question here. Maybe some of you would be asking, should a pastor really promote alcohol? And my answer to that would be, if he wants to be biblically accurate, yes, he should. If you need more than that, then you probably aren't a part of the bridge. And that's really cool then, if you're watching this video and you're not a part of the bridge. But if that is an actual question that you care about, email me. I'll answer that by email. We can talk more about it from there. So I'm looking forward to this series. We're just about to start our first interview, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Before Aaron comes on, or before I Zoom Aaron here, is that what you call it, Zoom? Or do we just still say call? I don't even know what to do these days. So we'll learn as we go along proper Zoom etiquette together. But before I Zoom Aaron, then I actually know ahead of time what Aaron chose. I had to, so I could get it as well. And Aaron chose a very special wine, really good wine. And it's a Syrah from Trust. Trust is a winery in Walla Walla, actually a winery that we're wine members at. And this is a 2016 Syrah, and it's called A Town So Nice. And I'll wait to drink this with Aaron, but while I am here with you beforehand, I wanted to show maybe some of you that are new to wine what to do when your bottle looks like this. So these are just wine bottles dipped in wax, and it makes it look nicer and it makes it more annoying to try to get into. Some people tell you, and if you actually like maybe Google this online, it'll tell you that you should like heat this up, maybe put it in, like dip it in some hot water to heat it up, and then you can peel it off. I do not think that's the best way to open this, so I'm going to show you. The best way to do it is just to go right through the wax. Wine opener will do that. You just put it right in the top and twist through. The wax is pretty hard, and so if you do it right, which hopefully I do since I'm doing this on video, and then you just open it the same way, and it's just going to break the wax off, like that. I don't know if you can see that, but the wax then just kind of stays right on top of the cork, and then you just kind of go about pulling that out the same way. And then when you pour, it'll just pour right out. Ooh, look at that. That's a beautiful, beautiful cork there. Nice dark color to that. We'll maybe talk about that, what that means with Aaron. But that's the way you want to open this. If you go out and try to buy a bottle, or if you ever have a bottle that has wax on it, that's going to be the easiest way to do it. All right, everybody, I am here, and we are doing our first Zoom, and hopefully you can see at this time Aaron Allen. He's nicely, kindly joining me. How's it going, Aaron?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I wish I was as smart as you and maybe set up outside, because that's looking beautiful right now.
Glorious.
It is glorious. Before we get to the wine that you chose, I just kind of wanted to know how you're doing, how the fam's doing, how are you guys holding up?
Yeah, we're good. It's definitely crazy times. Both Nicole and I are not working currently.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm working from home, obviously, as a teacher, but salons and everything are down too. So we're all home all
yeah.
the time, every day, all together, all the time. No, in fact,
Yes,
actually, it's great. Like, I definitely am thankful that I love my family and we like being together.
yeah.
Obviously, I hope that would be for any family, but we genuinely do enjoy each other's
Mm-hmm.
company. So it's been fine, and we're passing the time with games and things like that. And there's
Cool.
hard days when when your life is sort of strange and weird. I think for anybody, it creates
Yeah.
stuff. But we're handling it, and the kids are doing great, and
That's awesome.
just requires some communication and things. But it's so
Yeah.
far so good. So
I hear you. I think both Mary and I are kind of feeling that same way. Like this isn't something that we would ever choose, but like there's some really great things that we can soak up, and we're certainly enjoying and trying to soak up just the extra time with our family. And JL got kicked out of the dorms at Whitworth, and so she had to move back in, and everybody's here all day long. So same thing. It's just like either, we can kind of fight this, or we can try to get as much from it as we possibly can,
Yeah,
So
it's
I
really
think
good.
that's cool. And it makes me happy as well that I'm like, oh, I'm glad I like my family. This is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
How's Nicole doing with not being able to work?
Yeah, it's definitely hard. Like, it's one of those things that's just, she loves her job, and she loves connecting with people, and loves providing that service for people. So it's a hard thing to just sort of have that taken out of your life for a while. But we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Without then just kind of figuring out what our, trying to stay active and productive, and use the time in ways that are, things that you don't get to do because you're busy, and things like that. We're trying to figure out what those look like. Without breaking up the social distancing thing.
Yeah.
So she's all right. I think I saw something funny, because it was both somebody somewhere online was like, after all of this, no one will ever take for granted teachers and hairdressers ever again. So I was like, hey, that's pretty good.
That'll be good for us in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, but we're
cool. Well, that'll be some way that we can be praying for you guys and the fam. So wanted to thank you for sending out the worship video too. That was awesome, and I've heard from numerous people how much that meant to them, and how they've loved that. So thank you for making that happen.
Yeah, you bet.
I figured you were the man behind the camera, so.
I was indeed.
Yeah. Well,
I was gonna clap in the background just for the drummer. No, I wasn't gonna do that.
I thought maybe later, the next one, you could maybe lead the worship song.
That would be very well received. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Be amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being the first guest on this new segment here, Meet You at the Well Wednesday. And I got your wine suggestion, which of course I'm excited about. So I'm pumped that the first thing that we do on this is going to be wine, since that's, I think, both of our favorite drink. And you picked a great one. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about this wine?
Sure. So this is the bottle. It's from a winery called Trust. We are both actually members of Trust. And so this bottle is actually a bottle you can only get if you are a member. I went extra snobby today.
I like it.
So this is a 2016 Syrah. It's called A Town So Nice. And typically Trust Syrahs are quite delightful. The guy who made this, or who started this winery, owns it. They're pretty successful. He used to be like a writer for Time magazine, I think.
Yeah.
He just decided midlife to sort of go the other way and start a winery. So it's one of my favorites, and one of our favorites that we love. So anyway, it's a wonderful, wonderful wine. I'm very excited to have some.
Yeah, and for those that aren't as snobby as us, you can find Trust wine at a grocery store. If you're wanting to go kind of maybe a cheaper route, for some of you that are maybe new to wine, they have a cheaper label called Tat, like a tattoo, and you can pick that up at it seems like I see them at the grocery store all the time, but they do have other wines you can get if you're not as snobby as we are. Or you just have to, say that you really want to enjoy a good wine with us, and then maybe we could hook you up or something.
For a small fee.
Sure. For a small fee. So before maybe we do you have your glass poured? I've got mine here.
I do have a little,
ready.
Yes, I have my first.
Okay. Maybe before we take our first drink, you are, out of anybody I know, probably the greatest Syrah lover. So for those maybe that don't know or are new to wine, what is it about Syrah that you love so much?
Yeah. Oh, I love this question. So there's sort of two classic types of. Sorry, you're going to get a longer answer than you probably want.
No, that's great.
Two classic sort of types of wine. If you know anything, there's like Rhone varietals, and then there's Bordeaux varietals, which both come obviously from French names, but it's really about the grapes, like what kind of grapes they are. And Cabernet Sauvignon is probably the most widely drank Bordeaux varietal. Syrah is probably the biggest Rhone varietal. So when people think Rhone, they typically think Syrahs.
Yeah.
So Syrah, the thing that cabs have that Syrahs don't have is really, really tannic, kind of nice finishes. Syrah doesn't necessarily always have that the way that you can get with a cab or with a Bordeaux. But what Syrah does have is the profiles, meaning the flavors of the wine are just pretty hard to beat. They're very earthy a lot of times, and that's really the profile that I love. There's oftentimes kind of really interesting complexity if it's a really good Syrah just right at the front. So what they lack on the back end that a cab might have, Syrahs have up front with just some really intense complexity. There's like earthiness can mean lots of different things. Sometimes that's like kind of a wet concrete kind of taste. Sometimes that's more of a mushroomy kind of taste. Sometimes people would say poopy or barnyardy kind of taste. Which I know that sounds wrong, but kind of the funky taste would be a good way to describe it. But it's also mixed in with lots of darker fruits and lots of jamminess sometimes with the Syrah you get, and so those mix together for a delightful combo. So.
Yeah, man, good job. The teacher in you is really coming out there.
It's been a while since I've taught,
I can see.
It's all
that was a great. I was wondering how you were going to do that, and you just nailed that. So, yeah. And really, you don't know this yet because you haven't seen the intro to this. But my hope is in this is just, I think in any time of life, but especially when we're going through kind of more challenging things, is good to take time to enjoy the things that we do like. And so I think that's healthy for us in this time. Obviously, we don't want to go overboard and drink like wine all day long. We specifically waited till later in the day just so that we wouldn't be drinking wine at like 10 in the morning.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, but I think it's good whether that's so many different things, obviously, but in this time, find things that you enjoy to do. And I'm excited to discover that with other people, just other kind of drinks that maybe they love and like. It'll be fun to kind of test that out. But that's kind of the motivation behind this, is to discover those things together, and then obviously just give the community a chance to stay in touch and see each other. So again, thanks, and I think we should try to cheers this as best as we can. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bam. Ding, however we make that noise. Maybe Joe can add that later.
Come on, somebody.
That is, you can preach that.
Whew.
So for those of you that don't know this, drinking wine with Aaron is actually a really fun thing to do because it's hard for him not to have physical reactions to wine. So that would be noises. That would be sometimes slapping his face. Like he just really, I think I've actually seen him get tears in his eyes if the wine speaks to him enough. And so you're a perfect first person to be doing this with because that is delightful.
That it's really good. Oh, man. One of the ways you know a good wine is that there's, I said the word earlier, complexity, meaning there's layers of flavor to it. So you're getting some things at the front and then in the middle, and then this is definitely has some complex. I won't bore people that don't care about this, but it's definitely holds up to what I was hoping for.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Did you let yours open for very long? Or?
For about an hour and a half, maybe hour and a half.
Yeah, so you got me beat, but even just almost, because I opened it almost right before we started, and it's tasting great. So again, if you are new to wine, really everybody's palate is different, and so if you don't like something, you don't have to feel bad about that. You should drink what you like, but if you're wanting to explore some more, again, a wine like this, and this is going to be a little bit higher price point than some. We'll keep that between ourselves, what that is, but
Yeah.
it is fantastic. So good pick.
I have to say this too. I actually got into wine drinking relatively late. Like probably I was 30, 34, maybe 33, something like that. And I always had this really like it was intimidating, and people that talked about wine were sort of like with some kind of secret club that you had to speak the secret language and go to the secret meetings. And I never really got it. But it's like anything. When the more if you get into it and you just like it, I mean, it's okay. But if you like it and you're sort of intimidated, don't be. It's literally just juice, and it's just juice that
how dare you,
has a worldwide following and all of these things about it. But if you like it, just get into it the way you'd get into anything. And there's nothing that should be intimidating or whatever about wine. It's just wine. You just drink it. It's not a big deal. So.
Yeah, it's expensive juice.
It's expensive juice. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So just for, again, your palate and what you like, what sort of food would be something that you would typically maybe do a Syrah like this with?
Sure. So with something like this, sometimes Syrahs are just really nice to drink on their own. They're not necessarily for food. But like, like the classic pairing is typically like, if people think of like wine, like red wine with a steak, that would probably be, for me, if I was going to drink or eat a steak, I'd probably want more of a Bordeaux blend, something that's going to cut the fat of that. If you're looking at a meat pairing with Syrah, like things like that are a little bit more gamey or a little bit more under the radar, like lamb. Syrah and lamb is a really, really nice combo.
Yeah.
Or a variety of cheeses that you're just kind of having like a charcuterie board. That's like Syrah is a really nice, palatable taste with lots of different cheeses, because it's not going to overwhelm something too much. So you're going to, if you have a variety of different things, Syrah is a nice way to kind of complement a variety of things. So
nice. I'm telling you, you should be the spokesperson for Syrah.
I should.
Their sales would go up, I think, if you were.
I agree.
Hey, since I have you here, one of the things that I want to do is just kind of ask people what they're doing, go a little bit deeper maybe, and just ask what people are doing to kind of stay active in their faith or engage their faith. I've found that having a glass of wine talking about faith is a wonderful thing to do.
Always.
So as we're doing that, is there anything that you're doing different in this season, or something that you are finding especially inspiring? How are you engaging faith kind of right now in this time?
Yeah. I think my I guess my biggest expression of that, or what's been on my heart and my mind, is just for obvious reasons, I guess, my family and our relationships, like that, like, and just how I can sort of grow and be stronger and be more about them as a dad and as a husband. Just because you rarely get these types of opportunities to really, work. There's no school. Just really digging deep into some of the things that, worries and fears and motivations and barriers to faith that either my kids have or that I have. So, and obviously still trying to kind of spend some time, outside of a normal day, just, whatever you would call it, prayer or reflection or just talking to God and stuff. But the expression of that has been very, whether they're just talks between my wife and I about our faith and about what our, who God is for us in new ways, or whether it's Noah and I talking about something that he's feeling or going on in his life. I find that those are incredibly
awesome, man,
expressions of faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just where a fear or something comes up, and then we get to, that fear kind of leads us to the truth of the gospel or the truth of who Jesus is in our lives, rather than sort of the other
like
way
it.
around
Yeah.
kind of idea.
Yeah.
Hope that
That's
makes
awesome,
sense.
man.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
so
I think that's awesome.
yeah, that's been our kind of experience.
Yeah. Are you guys doing anything specific as a family? Like, I think we've been, I don't know, bored and coming up with some funny things to do as a family. The other night we did this thing where we all had to create our own PowerPoint that somebody else was going to have to present. That led to some incredibly inappropriate and funny things. But I didn't know if, like, is there anything you guys have done as a family that's maybe a little bit different, or some way that you feel like it's kind of drawn you guys closer together?
Yeah, that is actually on the docket. We heard about the
Is it?
PowerPoint thing,
Okay.
and that's on the docket.
It was scary.
We're totally gonna do that.
Yeah.
We like lots of different games. That's not necessarily
Okay.
something that's unique. We've done that a lot.
Yeah.
And just honestly doing some of this has been really healthy, and like
Mm-hmm.
even with families, like we did that with a couple other families
Oh, cool.
with everybody, and just kind of, it's a little chaotic because of there's a
Yeah.
lot of people, but honestly it's like kind of a breath of fresh air a little bit, just to
Yeah.
have friends. And I have to say this too, there's a sort of an amazing opportunity for gratitude, I guess, with all of this. Just
Mm-hmm.
when you're without the ability to talk to your friends or be with people or do the things that, like, it just sometimes it takes you being without something truly appreciate
Mm-hmm.
those relationships. And we're a pretty socially active family, and so
Yeah.
that's probably been the hardest for us, is just not seeing friends and things. But on the positive end, it does make you incredibly in sort of a renewed way grateful for the relationships that are big parts of our life. So there's
Yeah,
that.
that's
But also,
awesome.
a couple of things we've done. We've tried to go for walks every day.
Cool. Yeah,
The
that's good.
enthusiasm for the walks has waned some.
Is it? What?
Yeah, weird, I know.
Weird.
Yeah. So when you're trying to get, like, say, an 18-year-old up at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning to
That's,
go for a
yeah.
walk, they don't necessarily see the
I
benefit
get that. I
the
get
way
that.
you or I might. So
I see. Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I've got here for you now. We're getting to the end of the interview, and something that I want to do with people is just kind of ask. Is going to be 7 questions each time, kind of for the 7 days in between when I'll be posting these well videos. So I've just got kind of 7 random questions, nothing really deep, but just kind of random fire it and don't think about it for too long.
Okay.
So number 1 out of our 7 questions is, what artist are you listening to the most right now?
Bon Iver.
Of course. Okay.
Sorry, that was the first one that came to my head.
Okay, is that really the one you're listening to the most right now? Okay.
Tons of Bon Iver. Yes.
I believe that.
Yep.
Okay. Number 2, name a show or series that you're really into right now.
Ooh, okay. I got 2. Sorry.
That's awesome. 2's
well,
great.
And they have to do with the fact that Showtime is free right now. So, Homeland was a show that I had watched several seasons of. But I got caught up on Homeland, and now I'm like current on that. So I'm watching Homeland, which is amazing. And then also, thanks to a certain friend of mine.
Who would that friend be?
You.
Oh.
I'm also watching Billions, which is a show full of terrible people.
It is.
But it's fascinating. It's basically like a soap opera for dudes, but it's so good. It's like well written and it's just about power and greed and all the things that are not really a part of my life, but you're sort of watching these people.
Right.
And it's fascinating.
I'm so glad that you're finally watching that and that you're liking it. Okay. Number 3, what's the longest you've gone without a shower so far?
I refuse to answer that question.
What? You're pleading the 5th, huh?
Oh, probably 2 days, 2, 3, maybe.
I feel like I need to ask Nicole this more than you.
You probably should. If I shower, let's see. If it was like a Monday, I think I've maybe gone till like a Wednesday evening.
Okay. That's not as bad as I thought it might be.
Yeah.
I kind of already asked this question, but what is one fun or unusual thing your family's doing to spend time?
Yeah, walks. We were sort of going
Walks.
on hikes or walks. That's not something we typically do, but we're trying to incorporate that.
Okay. Number 5, something you are or are planning to read during this time.
Oh, so I actually just finished the sci-fi classic called Dune.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow. All
which
right.
I had never read Dune before.
I actually never have either.
It's actually super interesting. It's a very articulated world. Probably only rivaled by Tolkien's world,
Okay.
and maybe
Yeah.
even more in depth. So it's not for everybody, but it's a great read. There's a big
Oh,
motion
cool.
picture coming up about it's a big
Yeah.
movie, so I figured I'd read it before that. So it's
That's
great.
awesome.
It's a classic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6, shorts, sweats, or yoga pants.
All of the above.
Okay. That's what I thought.
I mean, I'm not like actual yoga pants, but like, joggers. I have some joggers.
Okay. What are you wearing at this moment?
I'm currently wearing jeans, but that's only I'm
wow.
outside.
I am impressed.
75% of my attire has been sweatpants or shorts.
Okay, cool. Number 7, last but not least, what is the weirdest thing you've watched on YouTube during the quarantine?
Oh, God. The weirdest thing? Oh,
weirdest.
Lord. I don't know if I can answer that, honestly. Whoa.
The best that you can answer.
Yeah, I don't watch. I watch a lot of I'll listen to music on YouTube. Actually, okay. Well, here's the weirdest thing. Okay. So I bought an electronic drum set a few months ago.
Okay, yeah.
And I found out this way where I hook up, I wear headphones, and I hook up my phone so that I can hear what's going through the phone in my headphones as well as the drums.
Okay.
And then I play so on YouTube. There's this whole world I didn't know of songs where people have taken out the drums.
Oh, okay.
The whole song without the drums. So I'm playing along with many of my favorite songs and bands.
Oh, that's
actually
awesome.
It's a good hobby to have.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So,
well, good job. You answered the 7 questions very well.
Boom.
Way to go. Cheers.
Cheers.
I have to say, I'm sure other people feel the same way, but I definitely miss your drumming and this time, and just being together with worship, and your family is such a part of that. And so again, that was part of what made the video so great. I just needed a little drum solo from you, maybe somewhere in there. Next time you guys shoot one, maybe you could work that in sometime.
We'll try. We'll do that. I don't know how, but we will.
Okay, cool. Well, we're kind of coming to the end here of the interview, and I think each time kind of need to rate the wine or the drink, whatever it is that I'll be drinking. I'm really intrigued to see what people come up with in terms of some other things for me to drink. Yeah. It could get scary, as long as I've kind of thrown out there, the only thing that has to happen is they have to drink it with me.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I don't know what is possibly going to be some of I'm going to try anything. So
if I would have thought about this more, I should have brought something that you would hate, and that would be really funny.
Yeah, but you'd have to drink it with me. So
that's true.
Yeah. So I don't feel like we're too different that way, but
that is true.
My rating, I think, on this is going to be, obviously you went above and beyond on your recommendation. And so you kind of setting the bar, which is good, because then kind of from here on out, everything else can kind of be, rated. And so most places are going to have a 5-star system or something like that. Since we're calling this the well, it's going to have 5 wells, I think.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I think we'll go with, I found myself having to be exceedingly cheesy in this time period where I'm trying to come up with things. It's I don't know. But anyways,
well, good job on that.
I'm going to give you 5 wells. This is definitely a 5-well drink.
It is a 5 drink.
Again, encouraging people, you can't get this one, but anything you get from Trust is going to be awesome if you want to join us. And we'll cheers one last time here. And thanks so much for doing this interview.
Cheers.
Bing. Bing. And we'll see who is next on this. But thanks again, man. Love you and the fam. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
All right, man.
All right. Bye.